and welcome to Stuff Designers Do. I'm Brent Spore, and today we're going to talk about layout grid rules and how to use them to make your designs awesome. Let's take a look.
The first layout grid that I want to talk about is called the rule of thirds. It generally looks like this. You take your document and you divide it into 9 equal sections. And this gives you a kind of a tic-tac-toe pattern that allows you to lay things out properly. A lot of times this applies generally to photographs. So when you're cropping or laying out photographs in a layout, you want to make sure that you use this rule of thirds. Here's an example. There's a picture of my daughter, Katie, on the beach. And she's walking out towards the beach. And we've got her lined up on this particular axis of the rule of thirds, as well as this one for her head and this one for her body or her lower body. We are giving all of this extra room on the right hand side here to give what's called leading, and it gives us a little bit more emotion to the picture. So when you're cropping photos, make sure that you're following the rule of thirds to crop properly to give the proper message that you're looking for. The second layout grid I'd like to talk about is called the golden ratio, or in mathematical terms, it's called phi. And it's kind of like pi, if you're familiar with that. It's basically a mathematical equation, or in this case, 1.618033999. And as you can imagine, it goes on forever. But how it works is it's a rule that allows you to lay things out on a page and put them in a place that is visually appealing to the eye and easy to perceive. So what we do is we take the overall width of our document and we divide it by this number, and it gives us a split line down the slightly to the right, and gives you a large section and a small section. What I've also done here is I've taken this section, the right-hand section, and applied that same number and come up with another line here, just to show that you can divide any number of these using that same ratio, and it'll always be pleasing to the eye. So let's apply both of these laws to a simple layout. Let's make a birthday invitation for my daughter Katie's 2nd birthday. First thing I want to do is divide this document into the law of phi. So we've got 3 sections because I want to have a main title here and some general information about the birthday party over here. And I'd like to put a picture up in the upper left. So what I want to do with a picture to get my cropping right is use the other law, which is the law of thirds. So we have the law of thirds and the law of phi going on this document. So now we can actually create our document. My daughter Katie loves pink, and she absolutely loves yellow. So I selected 2 colors that were somewhat complementary and place them into the grid. The next thing I want to do is use the law of thirds up here and put a picture of Katie up as well. Now what we're doing is we're using the intersections on this grid to put her eyes on a line as well as her nose and give it, a good cropping distance. So the last thing we need to do is just come up with our text, write it out, and put it in, and that's where that shows up. We're using some of the laws we've talked about before with the unequal spacing and stuff like that. And when it's all said and done, we have a nice looking, easy to read, pleasing on the eyes birthday invitation for my daughter Katie's 2nd birthday.
Pretty cool, huh? These rules, even applied at the most basic level, will make a huge difference in your design. That's it for now. Until next time, I'm Brent Spore. Be awesome.